Let us see, beta. If we discuss about the asepalous or apetalous, asepalous or apetalous. This word A means absent. If I'm asking about the asepalous, it means such type of flower in which sepals are absent. If we are discussing about the apetalous, means those flower in which petals are absent. दूसरे शब्दों में कह सकते हैं कि asepalous flower are those flower in which petals are present. apetalous flower के लिए हम कह सकते हैं कि those flower in which sepals are present. क्योंकि यदि सेपल्स absent होंगे तो पेटल्स उपस्थित होंगे और पेटल्स absent होंगे तो सेपल्स उपस्थित होंगे. In that situation, in case of asepalous and apetalous, we can say that flower having the corolla and calyx are called as dicotyledons, but the flower in which there is presence of calyx or corolla only, they are considered as asepalous and apetalous flower. In other words, you can say very easily that the flower having the calyx, जिसमें calyx is called as apetalous. The flower having the corolla are called as asepalous. ये क्लियर है? क्योंकि सेपल्स को हम क्या कहते हैं? कैलिक्स कहते हैं. पेटल्स को क्या कहते हैं? करोला कहते हैं. तो यदि ए वर्ड लगा इसका मतलब ये एब्सेंट है. और जब ये एब्सेंट मान लो एपेटलस मींस absence of petals means presence of sepals. Asepalous means absence of sepals, then there is the presence of petals, corolla present. So now we should have to study about the floral symmetry. As we have studied in
सर
हाँ बेटा बोलो.
सर एक बार रिपीट कर दीजिए, नेटवर्क नहीं था.
देखो हम लोग कल भी डिस्कस किए थे कि asepalous और apetalous कंडीशन क्या होती है. We have discussed about a situation when there is presence of either sepals or petals. So if such type of condition in develop in case of any flower, then flower are called with the different name. In case of absence of sepals, it is called as asepalous. In case of absence of petals, it is called as apetalous. दूसरे शब्दों में फिर से हम बता रहे हैं, दूसरे शब्दों में कहते हैं यदि हम मान लो सेपल्स निकाले, हम ऐसा कहें कि such type of flower in which there is presence of petals only. There is presence of petals only या corona only. In that situation we can say that the flower is asepalous. क्योंकि sepals नहीं है, केवल petals उपस्थित है, इसका मतलब sepals नहीं है. या a flower in which there is presence of petals only, then the flower will be asepalous. ये क्लियर है? इसका मतलब ये वर्ड लगा हुआ है, इसका मतलब कि ये एब्सेंट हैं. asepalous means sepals absent, apetalous means petals absent. ठीक है? विदाउट सेपल्स एंड विदाउट पेटल्स हो जाएगा.
यस
Now
सर.
we should have to study about the floral symmetry. We have discussed about the symmetry in kingdom Animalia. We have studied about the different phyla. Beta please silence बनाए रखो. We have discussed about the symmetry in kingdom Animalia when we were studying about the different phylums. We have studied that in case of animals, human beings, there is radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. We have discussed in case of flower how they are symmetrical or non-symmetrical or asymmetrical. We should have to know. First of all, we should know that what is floral symmetry. We can say that the arrangement of floral organ around the axis of flower. There is presence of floral organ around the axis of flower is called as floral symmetry. Is called as floral symmetry. How the floral organs are arranged on the axis of a flower is called as floral symmetry, and it is also of different type. It is radial symmetry, there is bilateral symmetry, or there are some flower in which there is no any symmetry. In that situation, they are called as asymmetrical. So, especially we have to study about the two type of symmetry. One is actinomorphic and other is zygomorphic. Before study symmetry, we should have to know about the something. We should have to know about the mother axis also. मदर एक्सिस ऑफ अ फ्लावर, व्हाट विल बी द मदर एक्सिस ऑफ अ फ्लावर? यदि मान लो ये क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा जाए, देन हाउ कैन यू रिप्लाई इफ देयर इज प्रेजेंस ऑफ अ फ्लावर? सपोज कर लो ये फ्लावर है, मदर एक्सिस पढ़नी है हम लोगों को, दूसरी चीज क्या पढ़नी है? एंटीरियर साइड पढ़ना है, एंटीरियर साइड, पोस्टीरियर साइड. We should have to study about all these three topics. Let us see, suppose that this is the main shoot of a flower from which there is development of a flower. मान लो कोई प्लांट है, इस प्लांट का ये शूट पोर्शन है और यहाँ से फ्लावर डेवलप हुआ है. जब यहाँ फ्लावर डेवलप होगा, then at this portion there is development of bracts, and ये फ्लावर लगा हुआ है. मान लो ये फ्लावर यहाँ लग गया, कुछ टेढ़ा ही बन गया क्या? लेट मी ट्राई वंस अगेन. Suppose that this is a flower, and when we start to see the flower from this portion, अब यहाँ से हम फ्लावर को देख रहे हैं, यहाँ आई है, मान लो ये हमारी आंख है, यहाँ हम खड़े होकर फ्लावर को देख रहे हैं. दिस इज द ब्रैक्ट पोर्शन ऑफ अ फ्लावर. वी हैव स्टडी अबाउट द ब्रैक्ट. ये तो हम लोग पढ़े थे कि ब्रैक्ट क्या होता है. दिस मदर एक्सिस, दिस मेन शूट ऑफ द प्लांट, एंड व्हेन वी विल सी द प्लांट फ्रॉम फ्लावर फ्रॉम दिस साइड, तो अब इसके अरेंजमेंट में आप देख लो, यहाँ जाएगा. दिस इज द मदर एक्सिस. This is the mother axis of a flower, means the main shoot through which the flower is attached. After then, this portion, the portion towards the bracket, the portion towards the bracket is called as anterior side of flower. It is called as anterior side of flower. Now we should have to know about the posterior side of flower. The upper portion, the above portion is called as, हम कह सकते हैं कि the side of mother axis is called as the posterior portion. आप यहाँ कह सकते हो this is the posterior side. Posterior side of a flower. So it should be in our mind that what is mother axis, how can we know about the anterior and posterior side of a flower. Is it clear? छोटा सा टॉपिक था और ये हमें आना चाहिए. Now we should have to know about the floral symmetry. There is especially two type of symmetry in flower. If there is a flower and it is divided into equal half from any plane, suppose कर लो ये flower है and the flower can be divided into many equal halves from a single plane. In that situation there will be radial symmetry. क्या होगी? There will be radial symmetry, and that symmetry, radial symmetry in case of flower is called as actinomorphic. उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? Actinomorphic. It is called as actinomorphic. A flower in which there is radial symmetry means it can be divided into many equal halves from a single plane. It is called as actinomorphic. Suppose that this is a flower and it can be divided into many equal halves from a single plane, then we say that there is actinomorphic condition. Our flower is actinomorphic. The symbol to represent the actinomorphic situation, actinomorphic condition of a flower is like this. इस तरह से सर्कल बना करके और उसको हम क्रॉस कर देते हैं. It will be necessary when we will study about the floral formula. If this symbol is given, तो इस symbol को हम क्या पढ़ेंगे? This symbol represent that there is actinomorphic condition in the flower. Means this symbol represent the actinomorphic condition of a flower. इसे हम सममित कहते हैं. बेटा प्लीज म्यूट कर लो अपने आप को. अभिषेक राय, आलोक, म्यूट कर लो. जरूरत पड़े तो फिर अनम्यूट करना. Is it clear? अच्छा. ये कौन है आलोक? म्यूट करो बेटा अपने आप को. म्यूट योरसेल्फ. Let us see. Actinomorphic means if a flower can be divided into many equal halves from a single plane, then it is called as actinomorphic. Trijya samamiti. And the symbol which represent the actinomorphic condition of a flower is this. It represents the actinomorphic condition of a flower. And the next which we have to study is zygomorphic condition. Zygomorphic. We have studied in case of animals that there is bilateral symmetry. In same condition, in case of flower, if it is divided into two equal halves from a single plane, in that situation it is called as
एक व्यापार में ए बीस की तीनों साझेदारों को 95,000 रुपए का कुल लाभ होता है.
ये कौन था जी? नहीं पढ़ने का इरादा है, चले जाओ यहां से बेटा. अदरवाइज हम म्यूट करेंगे तो फिर बाकी बच्चों को नुकसान होगा. Let us see. We should have to study about the zygomorphic situation. We can say that if a flower can be divided into two equal halves from a single plane, then it is called as zygomorphic. And the symbol which represents the zygomorphic condition of a flower is like this. This shows that a flower can be divided into two equal halves, means the bilateral symmetry in case of कई समस्याएं हैं. Let us see. Now we should have to study about the types of flower based on the number of floral leaves in the flower, means on the basis of presence of floral leaves, how it is categorized into different parts we have to study. We should have to know about the isomerous and heteromerous flower. Isomerous flower and heteromerous flower means how can we say in your NCERT it is given that trimerous flower, dimerous flower, tetramerous flower, pentamerous flower. This heading is given in your NCERT. So we should have to know that the type of flower based on the number of floral leaves. On the basis of floral leaf. on the basis of floral leaves. We have to know about the type of flower on the basis of floral leaves in each whorl. In each whorl. So it is especially it is of two type. One is isomerous. Isomerous flower, and the other is called as heteromerous. Heteromerous flower. First of all, we have to know about the isomerous flower, that what is the situation when we can say that the flower is isomerous. We can say that if the flower has same number of floral leaves in each whorl, if a flower have same number of floral leaves in each whorl, then it is called as isomerous flower. The word iso is given here. The word iso means same. If there is same number of floral leaves is same in each whorl, means if there is presence of two sepals, then there is presence of same number of petals, same number of androecium, same number of carpel, then it is called as isomerous flower. But there are some flower in which there is differences in the number of floral leaves in each whorl. Suppose that if there is any flower in which the number of sepals is 5, number of petals is 5, number of stamen is 5, but there is difference in the number of carpel or gynoecium, then it is called as heteromerous flower. The word hetero means there is different number of floral leaves in different whorl of a flower is called as heteromerous flower. I hope you understand properly that what is isomerous flower and heteromerous flower. Isomerous flower means those flower in which there is same number of floral leaves in each whorl. But heteromerous flower are those flower in which there is the different number of floral leaves in the different whorl. The isomerous flower is also of different types. It is also of different type like dimerous, trimerous, tetramerous, and pentamerous. Pentamerous. There are different types of flower on the basis of floral leaves on each whorl, as we have discussed that isomerous flower and heteromerous flower. This isomerous flower is also of different type like the dimerous flower, trimerous flower, tetramerous flower and pentamerous flower. It is given in your NCERT, yahi se diya hua hai. So we should have to know that what is dimerous flower. Suppose that if there is a flower in which there is two number of floral leaves in each whorl, there is presence of two floral leaves in each whorl, then it is called as dimerous. As the word given trimerous, then there is presence of 3 floral leaves, there is presence of 4 floral leaves, there is presence of 5 floral leaves in each whorl, then it is categorized as dimerous, trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous situation. Okay, is it clear that what is the situation when we can say that the flower is dimerous, trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous? I hope that Anurag has asked about this, that what is the dimerous, what is tetramerous. Puche the Anurag.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
These are the number of floral leaves in each whorl of a flower. and these condition will develop in case of isomerous flower. In case of heteromerous flower, this condition cannot be seen. There is different number of floral leaves in different whorl. Word whorl का मतलब तो समझ में आ गया होगा. जैसे एक फ्लावर है, सपोज कर लो ये फ्लावर है. अब इस फ्लावर को यदि हम देखें तो देयर इज सेपल्स, द ग्रीन कलर ऑफ पार्ट ऑफ फ्लावर इन विच द फ्लावर इज सेफ, that is the one whorl. The other whorl of petals will be present there. After then there will be presence of stamen and then pistil also. तो सभी को हम whorl कहते हैं. Is it clear? Now we should have to study about the types of flower with the respect to position of gynoecium. ओवरी कैसे situated है, किसी भी फ्लावर की ओवरी किस तरह से किस पोजीशन में सिचुएटेड है, उसके हिसाब से भी हमें पढ़ना है. वी हैव टू नो अबाउट द टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लावर विद द रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ पोजीशन ऑफ गाइनोसियम और पोजीशन ऑफ ओवरी भी आप कह सकते हो. लेट अस सी. बेसिस ऑफ पोजीशन ऑफ ओवरी कर लो, ovary or gynoecium also. In your book, it is given very clearly that there is hypogynous condition, perigynous condition, and epigynous condition. It is of three types. The first one is hypogynous. The second one is perigynous condition, and the third one is epigynous condition. There are three types of condition on the basis of position of ovary of a flower on the thalamus. कि थैलमस पर किस तरह से अरेंज्ड है उसके हिसाब से तीन तरह की सिचुएशन होती है. द फर्स्ट वन इज कॉल्ड एज hypogynous, second one is called as perigynous, and third one is called as epigynous. Now we should have to study about the hypogynous flower. Figure is given in your book. बेटा आप उसको ध्यान से देखो. The figure is given in your book. Let us see if there is a flower. Can I erase these things? The first setting which you have to study is hypogynous condition. If there is presence of a flower, आप इस तरह से फिगर को बनाते जाओ ताकि आपको आसानी होगी. या अपनी एनसीईआरटी के फिगर को देख लो. फिगर इज गिवन इन योर एनसीईआरटी. This is the thalamus portion of a flower about which we have studied. And the ovary is situated at the above of this thalamus. There is presence of ovary at this portion. Ovary is present here, and the other floral leaves are developed from this place. There is development of sepals, there is development of petals, and there is development of stamen also. You can see the situation of a flower, that how the ovary is situated on the thalamus. How the ovary is situated on the thalamus. You can see that, yes beta, this is the thalamus portion and this is the ovary. This round portion of a flower is called as the ovary. We are seeing that this ovary is situated above or upper portion of this thalamus, if this condition will found, then we can say that this is the hypogynous condition in which the ovary is situated at the superior portion. If this type of condition will develop, बहुत important है ये, then it is called as superior ovary. It is called as superior ovary. Ovary superior or superior ovary. Now we should know about the hypogynous condition. आप कह सकते हो, if the ovary is situated at the torus portion, at the thalamus portion or above the receptacle, then it is called as hypogynous and the ovary is superior. The ovary is superior, which can be seen in case of mustard plant. यदि आप मस्टर्ड के फूल को देखो, तिलहन के या क्या कहते हैं सरसों के फूल को देखोगे, उसमें ये कंडीशन आपको देखने के लिए मिल जाएगी, दैट देयर इज presence of thalamus and all the accessory organs are developed from this portion near the ovary, and the ovary is situated above the torus or above the thalamus or receptacle, so it is called as superior ovary. Is it clear? The second figure is given in your book and third figure is also given. This is the perigynous condition, in which how can we say that the ovary is half inferior or half superior? हम कैसे कहेंगे? Suppose that this is the thalamus, this is the position of thalamus of a flower in which the ovary is attached in this situation. It is present in such a situation. If such type of condition is present and all the accessory and other floral organs are developed from this portion, ये stamen हो गए, and from this portion there is development of sepals and petals also. You can see this is the thalamus, this is sepals, this is petal, stamen, and this is the pistil. You can see that how the ovary is situated, half covered in the thalamus portion. Ovary किस तरह से इस thalamus में आधे ढकी हुई है. This is called as perigynous condition. The figure C is given in your book. उसको भी आप देख सकते हो, क्योंकि हमारे पास समय कम बचा है बेटा, 5 मिनट बचा है, इसको खत्म कर लेना हम लोगों को. आप देख सकते हो. You can see the situation of the ovary, that how it is half covered in the thalamus portion. If such type of condition is developed, then it is called as perigynous. Perigynous condition. And in case of perigynous condition, आप कह सकते हो, when the thalamus form a cup-like structure and the ovary is half present in that cup-like thalamus and all the other floral organs are developed from this portion, from the above portion of the thalamus, then it is called as perigynous condition. And in that situation, the ovary is called as half inferior or half superior. The situation of ovary in which it is partially covered in the thalamus, it is called as half inferior, और आप इंफीरियर ही पढ़ो, हाफ इंफीरियर, और इसको हम हाफ सुपीरियर भी कहते हैं, हाफ सुपीरियर. It will be better for you that you should have to learn about the inferior also. Then आप इसे हाफ इंफीरियर पढ़ो, it will be good for you. हम सुपीरियर को मिटा ही देते हैं, आप कंफ्यूज हो गए. The situation of ovary is half inferior. Is it clear? The third and last one is also given, epigynous condition. Epigynous condition, the figure C is given in your book. When the ovary is totally enclosed in the thalamus, when the ovary is totally enclosed in the thalamus and all the other floral organs are developed at the above portion of the thalamus, then it is called as epigynous condition, and the ovary is totally inferior. The ovary is totally inferior. So we should have to say about the epigynous condition of a flower. The third one is epigynous. Suppose that if there is a flower, this is the thalamus portion. This is the thalamus portion, and the ovary is enclosed, totally enclosed in this portion. It is totally enclosed inside the thalamus. Such type of condition will develop. This is the ovary. अब इसमें ovules को भी दिखा दिया है, आप देख सकते हो. We know that ovules are present inside the ovary, तो इसलिए दिखा दिया है. That's why very easily we can differentiate about the ovary and thalamus also. After then, all the other floral organ will develop from this portion. This is the sepals. After then, there is development of color parts of flower. हमें अंतर करना है, and there is presence of male reproductive part. If this condition will develop or found in case of flower, then we can say that this is the epigynous condition of a flower, and the ovary is inferior, या हम कह सकते हैं inferior ovary, and this inferior ovary can be seen in sunflower. जो सूर्यमुखी का पौधा होता है उनमें आप देख सकते हो. Such type of condition is developed. The ovary is totally enclosed in the thalamus portion of a flower. Okay. In case of perigynous, the example of perigynous condition of a flower is rose. यदि गुलाब का फूल आपके पास है उसमें आप देख सकते हो. These three flower are the best example of hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. For hypogynous, you can say the mustard flower. For perigynous, you can say the rose flower, and for epigynous, you can see the sunflower. Very easily you can differentiate about the hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous, about the superior ovary, half inferior ovary or inferior ovary. We have studied about the different type of flower on the basis of position of the ovary on the thalamus. Now we should have to start the parts of flower, which we will study on next day because the time is going to finish.
सर
हाँ बोलो बोलो बेटा.
सर लिखा है सर द फ्लोरेट ऑफ सनफ्लावर, इसका मतलब